peeps, it's Andercom, and we're going to continue my story from yesterday about all my past and stuff. One of my subscribers asked more about me, and I decided, hey, might as well tell peeps more about myself. I don't think I usually talk about myself, so I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot for once. So we were at the point of my stepbrother. I was about 12 or so when my parents got remarried. Or at least my mom did, and my stepdad had already had kids, and so we got 3 kids. One I didn't have to deal with. She was a little older than me. She didn't want to have anything to do with them anymore, so I didn't see her much. Our youngest daughter, she was okay, a little bit sulky. She was going through a tough time at school and stuff. So, and then we had my stepbrother, total dick, and I had to deal with that. It was so much pain and suffering going on. He loved to torture me psychologically just for the fun. Of course, I probably set it off when I first met him. When I was a little kid, I loved to pick on people and get a rise out of them. So not long after I had met my stepbrother, I'd walk by, he was laying on the couch, and once I got around his head, I busted ass. Completely just shat in his face. Oh, it was probably not a good idea, because after that, he didn't treat me so well for a long, long time. Oh, so I probably had that coming. Oh, why? Why did I do that? But anyway, we lived in town for a good while, so we all had bikes, and we spent a lot of time bike riding and stuff. I actually spent a lot of time bike riding when I was a kid. I was actually somewhat athletic, somewhat. I mean, I spent a hell of a lot of time playing games, but it wasn't too horrible. I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do for this episode, actually. I'm just continuing my story and forgetting what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of these Lesu blocks away. I haven't got many left. Just 3 of them here. I did notice there is an upgrade for the Greg Tech stuff. You could change it to run off of megajoules instead of IC2, so let's take a look at that real quick. It's probably just labeled MJ or something. Let's see. No. Upgrade, maybe? Probably. It looks like an MJ on it. This one here. Pneumatic generator upgrade. Lets machines accept megajoules. So it was an iron gear and a generator in an assembly machine. And I just hold shift, right click on this thingy, and it allowed me to hook up this wire here. So I can run it off of, like, nut oil. Yeah! You'll love my nut oil. Let's see, what was I talking about? My stepbrother. Oh, God. Okay, some of this is going to be a bit of, like, I'm all over it now. This is years ago. I don't really care that he made some of my time hell. Some of it was honestly pretty funny in retrospect. For instance, one year, I don't remember when it was, probably a couple years after I'd met him, maybe 3 years, he decided to be really, really nasty for a good solid 3.5 months or so. So it took about 3 months of him daily, every time he's seen me, like calling me these horrible, horrible names, and trying to get a rise out of me before I snapped. And boy, did I ever snap. So, like, I would pretty much ignore him. He'd, like, walk up to me and, call me, hey, faggot, or hey, some bitch, or whatever he felt like saying at the time. It could have been anything. And then he'd ask me some horribly nasty question, like, have you sucked on any cocks lately, or anything like that. Something really, really lewd. And he did this constantly, every time he's seen me for months. Before, I just tried my best to ignore it, and not be a dick about it or something. And then one day, I had enough. So, he said something more to me, and I just lost it. Flipped the hell out. Started, and this guy he's younger than me, but he is literally almost a foot taller than me. probably actually he's about 7 inches taller than me, and weighs more than 100 pounds than me, largely muscle, some fat. He was just a really big guy, not somebody you'd usually ever want to fight. I flipped the hell out so bad I was throwing punches straight for the face. It totally caught him off guard. He started running, and this was the kind of guy that could not run. I mean, like a week or two before, I raced him like 50 feet, and at the end of the 50 feet, he was huffing and puffing so bad he didn't know what the hell was going on. He almost collapsed. This time, he ran for his life out into the field until I couldn't. I ran out of breath and I was collapsing. And I was a sprinter at the time. He out-sprinted me. He outran me because he was running for his life. It was hilarious on my end after the fact. I really wanted to kick his ass so bad. He lightened up on the abuse after that quite a great deal. So sometimes flipping the hell out on somebody, it can change their ideas on what they should be saying to you afterwards. So I really want to make something next. I got to figure out what. I was actually going to make something to do with the ME terminal. Let's see. Let's take a look. ME. Upgrades? It was crafting thingy, I think. Let's look. Crafting terminal. I gotta make another access terminal to do it, so I guess I'll go ahead and start making that. I probably made a bit of this kind of stuff before recently. I need a conversion matrix. Where is it? There it is. And I need to slap that up there, make another circuit, actually. Where are you at? Processor assembly? Okay, let's make a few of these just to get over with. Now, let's go and talk more about the kind of person I was when I was a kid. Now, I actually had a really rough childhood at first. For instance, when I went to school, my school was, sometimes it was fine, sometimes it was bad. It kind of depends on who you go to school with sometimes. And I'm sure you always have that kind of trouble. Everybody does when they go to school. I, for a while, was actually pretty normal, even though I was a bit sulky because things were going wrong all the time. When I hit 3rd grade, I actually had something really funky I did. Actually, it happened in 2nd. No, it was 1st. I figured out at 1st grade at some point that I didn't have to do the work, and they literally couldn't make me if I didn't want to. Did I figure that out in 3rd? I think it was 3rd grade. I think in 1st grade, I didn't feel like doing something or other, and I said, screw it. I didn't really want to do any schoolwork at the time. What am I making, anyway? This thingy. Okay, I just need the access terminal plan. Where are you at? Access terminal plan. Access terminal plan. So, my particular school, because I wasn't doing anything, decided they were almost going to kick me out of school in freaking 1st grade, for crying out loud. So, my parents decided to throw me in a private school. It just happened to be a Christian school, but don't hold that against me. Blocks. See, what the hell am I doing? Okay, I need some cable. Oh, there's some right here. And do I have the plan in my hand? I don't even know. Give me access terminal, controller, drive plan, fiber interface. Is this it? I think this is it. Throw it on the floor! There we go. Let's put this in here and see if that's what I'm after. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, I was going to make one of these. Oh, I got one. Well then. And I need one of these right here. So I ended up going to private school when I was it 1st or 3rd? It was 3rd grade. Okay, now I remember. I'm dragging back your, things from 15 years ago. Please forgive me. Now, when I was in third grade, I decided I didn't want to work anymore. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. I said, screw it, not interested, not important. So I decided I didn't want to. I made the wrong freaking thing entirely, didn't I? God darn it. What does this make anyway? Okay. I'm probably going to need these ME interfaces for later eventually anyway. What am I after? I need to make this. Okay, I'll just remember it. It's like, I probably forgot it already. Where are you at? Okay, yeah, I got it. So I need some iron here, a bit of glass somewhere in here. Right there, there it is. One of these ME cables there, and a conversion matrix. Finally! It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. I need to make a storage cell while I'm at it. Alright, that's pretty simple. Storage cell, segment, cell, this one. And I just happen to have utterly wasted the processor I had. Throw it on the floor again! So, I was kind of actually quite a smart kid when I was young. I mean, not too many kids realize when they're in third grade that they can flat out refuse to do things. I mean, it just kind of hit me like an epiphany sort of thing. And it's honestly probably a not very smart epiphany to have. Because I could be quite stubborn. Crafting. There's a crafting table. Now, it ended up not really affecting my education much, too much. And once I hit the private school, I had a lot of catching up to do because there seemed to have been like a massive difference between public school and private school with their particular quality and standard for their schooling. But it could just be my public school really sucked. I don't really know. And I had actually jumped in halfway through the school year. So I actually had to wait. Alright, let's just say my mom had a particular job where she couldn't get off work until, say, 7 or 8 every night. And the school was a city away, and they didn't have buses because there was only, say, 20-some people in the entire school. So I had to, my mom would drop me off at my teacher's house every morning at ridiculously o'clock in the morning. And then, hey, this is pretty cool. And then I would have to, what can you do with this thingy? So my teacher would take me to school every day. And then after school, we'd either have to wait until my mom picked me up at 7, because my teacher would be grading papers for hours on end, or let's just test something here. Let's just go ahead and see what I can do. Let me grab some, hopefully I don't accidentally turn everything into something. Okay, by the looks of it, I can put in a recipe here and pull out as many of these as I need. So that's pretty cool. And it just grabs stuff from the ME terminal just fine. Alright, that's pretty awesome. Let me just drop a bunch of junk in here. Go ahead and get rid of all this. So I had to either wait for my mom to pick me up at 7 or my teacher to go home. And then my mom picked me up at my teacher's house at 7 or 8 every day for the entire school year. Actually, I think it lasted for several years. It really sucked. So I had to spend several hours from, say, 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock catching up on schoolwork from the year I didn't do because I joined the school halfway through the year. So my school days were long as hell that first year. It was absolute torture. And it just really sucked. I didn't have any free time to do jack. Go home, watch TV a little bit, and go to bed. It really sucked. So then by the time I hit, say, 6th grade, and I'm still at that school, by the next year I didn't have to do that quite as much. Like I didn't have to do any more schoolwork after the school was done. I actually spent a hell of a lot of time on the computers at school. Like, they had a whole buttload of Apple IIe computers, ancient mofos, and like black and green monitors. But they had a lot of games on them too, so I got to play with that a bit. I'm actually after this thingy here. Let's see, this is a electric tree tap. I just need a bunch of rubber. So I enjoyed playing a whole bunch of ancient computer games. Believe it or not, these things were old even by the time I started playing them. And I actually really enjoyed playing with computers a lot. So that partially influenced my massive computer going nowadays. And then later, by the time I hit 6th grade, I realized I was done. I was basically burned out on school. I stopped doing my work again. I probably shouldn't have done that. So they ended up starting to kick me out, and because I just go to school and sleep all day, wouldn't do my work anymore. Didn't care. And then so I ended up going back to my my public school that was about to kick me out the first time. So back to that school. Freaky. I don't ever recommend completely stopping your work. It can lead to a lot of heartache. Literally, one time my mom got so mad at me, she picked up the chair of the kitchen table and slammed it into the glass kitchen table and utterly destroyed the holy hell out of it right in front of me. Scary times. Your parents can get quite mad. Also, they can possibly get in trouble too if you utterly refuse to do your schoolwork sometimes. I don't know what possibly they could have gotten in trouble in, but oh well. It pressured them, it pressured me, things went bad. So in 6th grade, I ended up going back to my other school, once again halfway through the year, but the public school didn't give a crap if I missed work beforehand. And I was okay for a year or so, and then I actually ended up having a substitute teacher for my math class that was so abysmal that there was about 10 people in the entire school that grade that passed. And there was over 100 and some people that took her class. That was just so bad. I don't know why the hell. It was so bad. And then I ended up deciding I didn't want to do my schoolwork then again. And yeah, things went bad. So I ended up getting a in-school suspension, and they'd stuck me in the library. And this is like the last 2 months of school that year. I think it was 7th grade, actually. And so I ended up having to stay in the library during school hours the entire time until I had done my schoolwork. I didn't do my schoolwork. I just sat in the library, read, or tried to write a story, or do whatever I could except my schoolwork, because I didn't give a crap. I actually ended up getting away with it, strangely enough. The end of the school year happened, and I didn't get held back, even though I was intentionally failing everything, because I entered into a special work program for the 8th grade, I think, to where you go to another school and basically kind of work as their janitor part-time while you're doing other school work, and they'd pay you for it. And since it was mostly a bunch of dropout kind of kids who was doing it anyway, nobody really cared. Let's just say I got incredibly lucky to have gotten away with it, because the other option was to be held back a grade. So I'm going to actually go visit people while I derp around and talk. See who all's on. Cookie, Andrewcon, Dark Shock. Let's just look around at some other people's houses. I think Brett and Johnny decided to make a new house. I don't even know where this is at. Interesting. Hub, their own quarry, mushroom biome they found. Interesting. I'd never been here. Interesting for sure. Oh, an incomplete tank that they'd busted through. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on there. So I ended up going to that work program during 8th grade at a separate school. It wasn't too bad, except I ended up figuring out that at the time you were only supposed to, whoa, they were only supposed to make the kids work, say, 3 hours a day, and we were working more like 5, and we're only getting paid for 3. What the hell is this stuff? Do they got their factories in different places? I don't understand what's going on. Weird. Maybe that's still under construction. Storage? Nah, I guess they're not done with whatever's going on over here. That's unusual. I don't know what I'm experiencing at this point. Ah! So anyway, my school years were quite troubled until about 8th, 9th grade. 9th grade, I ended up switching to, well, actually it was 8th grade. After 3 months of that particular work program, my parents got married, my mom and stepdad, and we moved. So I ended up going to a different school together. And that ended up being my high school that I ended up graduating with. It was a strange school in a way. Like some schools, they have their middle school separate. This one didn't. Sometimes they have the middle school with the elementary. This one had it with the high school instead. I found a mushroom biome. Interesting. I wonder if I'm stuck out here now. Because I doubt if there's a way back. Looks like it. Oh well. TPX 0. Alright. Yeah, so once that hit, and I was in like 8th grade or so, I actually started doing my schoolwork. And everything went a lot better afterwards. So here's Aces. Hadn't seen Aces for a while. He's not on right now. Dart, get out of my house! Ah, jeez. So he's got worded glass and a bunch of weird stuff all over the place. What the hell's going on here? I don't understand what he's done here. It used to be something different there. He's got a spawner here of some sort. Oh. That is a tier 5 spawner for witches. I think he said he's getting a whole crap load of redstone and maybe even glowstone off of this. I wonder where you actually collect the stuff at. Like, is the pipe running into his house, or is it out here somewhere? I don't even know. I don't see it. And this didn't quite load. Come on, load you. There we go. So, I was kind of quite moody in that particular year for whatever reason. And then I had an epiphany around the end of the school year that I didn't want to be moody anymore. I wanted to be much happier. I realized that I had friends, and I had spent a sizable portion of my spare time complaining about everything that was wrong to my friends. And every time they were around me and I started talking about it, they were sad. I'd just take whatever mood they were in and make it a bad mood. And I realized that after I'd done it for months. And then I decided I didn't want to talk about the bad stuff anymore. I didn't want to do something like, I didn't want to talk bad about anybody, because I didn't like gossip. It was like one of those terrible things that led to bad stuff. If you gossip about somebody behind their back, somebody'd find out about it, somebody will think bad of you. It's just generally bad karma, all this other crap, even though I didn't believe in karma at the time. And so I decided I didn't want to talk about bad about anybody anymore. Unfortunately, that had a side effect. For a couple years, I honestly didn't know what to talk about at all. So I honestly didn't say a lot. But anyway, from then on, I generally dedicated myself to not talking bad about anybody and trying my best not to say anything mean about anybody else, or try my best not to bring up bad things. So after years of practicing that, I ended up getting quite good at it, and got a lot better at actually bringing people up rather than dragging them down by mistake. Because a lot of people don't realize just what you do to somebody by what you say when you're around them. You know, it was probably quite a good thing for me to have that kind of epiphany back in 8th grade. So that was quite a lucky break. Big change in my life from that point. So who else's house have I got to look at? There's Reapers. So this guy was awesome. He went and bought me Don't Starve, and I was quite glad and thankful of it, so I let him on the server. But unfortunately, I can't let anybody else on the server. It's so full now. I honestly probably shouldn't even let half the people on here that are on there. I got too many people on now. It's starting to get crowded, so I can't let anybody on else than this unless a whole bunch of people stop playing on here, which I'm not going to ask them to do that. This is actually got an interesting multi-tiered house going on here. It's not a lot there yet, but he's working on it. Oh, he's actually got the ME system set up a little bit on each floor. He's got a little bit of stuff. Now, these people don't care if I look around in here. I never take anything, and I never will. So they all say it's fine. He's actually planned some of this stuff out. So industrial grinder goes there, an MFE. Implosion compressor there. Okay, then. Charging station. Let's just go back. Where am I? Let's go over here. Here's my place. Actually, that's not where I wanted to go. Now I think of it. I wanted to go to the end. It's the end of the world as we know it. So we got this weird little setup going on here. If I flip this lever, it starts up a grinder here for creepers, believe it or not. I don't know why they decided to put the creeper grinder in the end, but that's fine with me. And it automatically collects it all and slaps it into all these crap ton of whatever the hell they are, barrels. And I think there's a something interesting back here that's doing it. Let's see if I can take a look. What's going on back here? What the hell? There's even more? Oh, there's this, I don't remember what this thing's called. Some special device here that does it. And I don't know what it's called. Let me look it up. Filter? No. Somebody in the server told me about it. It's from some weird mod I don't even know of. But whatever the way that thing works is it accepts items and it can put them into an inventory like right here. And it'll automatically go into every inventory that's touching that inventory. Yeah, sure. And then I might as well go and visit Cookie real quick. Alright, there's Ace's place. He's got his book right to it. Oh, interesting. Main island, eh? I should probably have just went to the hub. Alright, let's just go here. Ah! Hi, Cookie. Smack. Hi. Well, what's up? Come on. What's up? Hello? Anybody home? Wake up. Well, might be lagging out. Oh, hi. Bees blocks. Ooh, sweet. I've been wanting some of these for a special project. Only 6? Crap. Oh well, it'll work. Thank you very much. So eventually I'm going to actually do some more with the bees. That'll be cool. Let me just put these away. Alright, so that's the end of that story for today. We left off at my high school. Pretty much, I was the kind of kid that really enjoyed the technical stuff. I loved the science. I was okay with math for a while, and then I learned to love it after a while. I loved my shop class. That was pretty cool. I learned a bit. And in my home life during the time, my stepdad, we'd actually built quite a lot of stuff. We had a shop. We had built we'd built several buildings for the farm and stuff. We'd raised horses. We'd trained the horses, rode horses. We'd worked on machinery, fixed tractors, all sorts of stuff. So I actually had quite a lot of technical things I'd done when I was still a teenager and enjoyed a good bit of it. But I also spent most of my spare time on a computer and video games. So we'll continue this conversation at a later date. Catch you later.